proof is in fact in the pudding. Could it be me? I don't like numbers. We are beginning to cook. 1 health in a dream. I respect it and I get her. You know, history would say they're friends. Take the food and run. It's rough out here and all that jazz. We have another family meeting of the council. All right, I took my hour break in between like this video and the last one. And a lot happened in the book I am currently listening to, so I would like to get back to my book, is what I'm saying. Anyways, hello friends and gamers. So we are going to finish the character story event for HISSABETH today. There's 7 hours left, but we only need like 1 right now, so we'll be fine. We're gonna do stages 5 to 8. I think there's like a last little bit after stage 8. Yeah, this thing we have to participate in. We don't get clear drops for it, so I don't know if we're even gonna do it, but like it depends, like how long is it gonna take? I don't know. But yeah, we do have to finish up Gap Month. We're gonna do that, and that's pretty much it. Am I gonna try not to yap unnecessarily as much as we did last time? I will try, but will I be successful? Debatable. Like I said, though, I do really want to get back to my book, but also I really want to finish this. So I'm just like, ooh, my book I can finish anytime. This, I have 7 hours to finish, and it's almost 10 o'clock at night, and I would like to go to sleep at a decent time because I am in the process of fixing my sleeping schedule. So, the proof is in fact in the pudding. We're gonna get started. We're gonna have fun with it. We have our 2 mini game stages first, and then we'll do 2 just like plain story stages and finish it off. I started playing with my lip balm on my desk and it just shot across the room. So, tomorrow we'll do Kimaritas. Now, without further ado, stage 5, proof is in the pudding. I've really been struggling with getting the voices down for these characters because I feel like a lot of the characters, like specifically, oh God, what's her name? Not Camille, something, Prismagreen. It's Prismagreen, yep. Prismagreen and HISSABETH, in my brain, sound very familiar. There's like slight differences in their voices, but I can't get it right. So all that is to say, I think like HISSABETH and Prismagreen's tone of voice is personally quite similar to mine, at least when I'm trying to like do some sort of fun voice for everyone. So I've really been struggling with doing voices at all because there's not a ton of differentiation with these characters, which generally that seems about right. Like, I'm not surprised, but when I am trying to do good old audiobook voice acting, it's difficult. So I might just read the voice. I might just read everyone at this point, and like the snakes obviously have like a fun little like snake voice, but that's about it. So like, it is what it is. Or probably just gonna read this normally. Anyways. HISSABETH says, so let's return to the topic of our last meeting. Do we join Prismagreen's new project or stick with our own? In the last video, there was like a dream sequence meeting of the snakes, and this is a continuation of that. That's what she's referencing. Snake number 5 says, what is our current project again? And HISSABETH says, space, stars, everything Voyager 1 encountered beyond our atmosphere. Snake 6, VI is 6, really testing my Roman numeral knowledge. Snake 6 says, have we finally finished our research proposal? HISSABETH says, no, I think it still needs work. Snake number 8 says, Camille's proposal has already passed Laplace review. Yeah, so that was the whole thing in the last version or video for this. There was a lot of like dissonance between what HISSABETH thinks she should do, i.e. going to work again with Prismagreen and her team, as opposed to what she actually wants to do, which is staying on the space team and doing all that. So yeah, this also takes place after the Cosmic Overture event, and if you are just tuning in, I actually have not done Cosmic Overture yet because I am prioritizing things that are not necessarily going to come back or stick around forever in the game, and Cosmic Overture event will come back a couple patches from now, so I'm not prioritizing that. Anyways, Camille's team, or Prismagreen's team, same person, has a lot more funding and like clout in Laplace than the space team, so there is that. Nailing down a new research direction isn't easy. These things can take time. Why not check out Camille's plan first? Didn't we already check it out though? As if struck by inspiration, HISSABETH claps her hands. She says, you know what, Estelle, you're right. Estelle is snake number 8. We should go to headquarters. Why not? Evaluate first to decide later. We've saved up enough vacation days. The Gap Month! Snake number 1 says, awesome! A field trip and a scouting mission. Maybe even fully expensed. HISSABETH laughs and says, I do love an expense report. Not me. All right, let's vote. Could it be me? I don't like numbers. And it's game time. We're getting right into it, which is awesome. So growing up with 8 serpentine siblings has certainly sharpened your tongue. Tap to see your arsenal of persuasion techniques. So we have divergent thinking. Oh, these are buffs I can use at any given time. Oh my God, I didn't realize that. Why? Did it tell me that last time? Did I even have any? Because our opponent, which is like technically the other snakes, has been doing this the whole time. I didn't know. Damn, all right. You learn something new every day. This one. We're not really getting a ton of good things. Use technique, why not? Oh, I can't use it. Oh, it's on cooldown at the beginning of the thing, so I have to go through 4 rounds first. Okay. I'm not getting anything really good here. I'm just looking for a good match because we can pick from anywhere. I know that it wants me to do this, but we don't need health. So I'm like, we don't need to do emotion. Let's do this one. Come on. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, this one too. Now we're cooking. We are beginning to cook. The opponent has turned some thought modules into black fog. These persist on the field and can fall as usual, but generally cannot be interacted with. Your technique has finished cooling down. That's what I was thinking about. Use the divergent thinking technique to respond and eliminate the black fog. Use technique, tap. Oh, see, I had a really good match right here, and I just kind of destroyed it by using the buff. So should have done that first. Reasonable. All right, I have a cooldown on my technique, so we'll just do that and that. Yeah, convincing. I need some health. All right, we still have our technique back, so we'll do that. So it is kind of like a bomb technique. So do this one. That's a double. Convincing. 1 health in a dream on our opponent right now. I'm just gonna hit that. Easy. The proof is, in fact, in the pudding. So Pointer's here. She says, I wanted to talk to you about... But she pauses to re-examine her optic feedback as it becomes clear the girl holding the snake is not who she thought. She says, oh, I thought you were HISSABETH. And Snake 6 says that Sylvie was up all night talking with Prismagreen. I suspect you won't see either of them this morning. Okay, so that was the whole thing. Thanks again, sweetheart. Weird. I'll be off now. Oh, Kibarina was the girl holding the snake. I was like, who's holding? I forgot about that part. All right. She says, shall I walk you out? And the snake flicks its tail, declining the offer, and vanishes through the door. I clicked through a little bit too early, but that's okay. Oh, Monique, I forgot I forgot the snake names in the like hour-ish I walked away from this. Kibarina says, I was just helping Monique feed the fish. The fish. Oh, the fish right here. The thoughtful girl gave a very short explanation so Pointer could understand her easily. Then she couldn't help but murmur out the thoughts racing through her head. She says, speaking of which, if Miss HISSABETH really does decide to join Prismagreen, she'll probably take the eco-tank with her, won't she? Oh, Kibarina it's like, she doesn't want her to leave. I know I went on a whole rant last time about like, it's just coworkers, it's not that serious, but like, this is different. This is different. They went to space together. They saw the horrors of space. Pointer says it's a logical deduction. I certainly won't be feeding them in her absence. Oh, I remember there being a line about the fish in the trailer now, so that makes sense. Kibarina says, I was just thinking. Pointer says, don't get too sentimental. Once you and Windsong are back at HQ, you'll probably see her again. Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to go back to HQ with Windsong. Maybe she likes it here. Maybe everyone likes it here, and that's the whole thing. Pointer says, though, knowing her, I doubt she'll stay there long. Yeah, because also she's like moves around a lot too. HISSABETH is the type to move around a bunch, but also it seems like she's like found her place here. Kibarina says, if Miss HISSABETH decides to accept, then Pointer says it will be her choice. Someone's here. The other shoe drops louder and sooner than anyone expected. HISSABETH says, good you're both here. I've arranged with Prismagreen to head back to Laplace HQ. Remember to feed the fish. Oh no, Kibarina's gonna start spiraling. Yep, no words. No words from either of them. Or HISSABETH for that matter. We didn't get a voice line, but I said in the last video, I'm in the process of editing the second video from the Argus character story. I know it's very late, but we're gonna ignore that. And the fact that there is like singular voiced lines is so annoying when it comes to how I edit. So I'm probably just gonna skip them. I know, I'm sorry, but I'm just probably gonna skip them because it's easier to edit that way. And then it doesn't take me, like, I have to take like double the time to edit the video because of the singular voiced lines. And I don't want to do that because then I don't edit it and it's 6 months later and the video's still not up. Anyways, HISSABETH says, what's with that look? Seeing her confusion is genuine, Pointer decides to answer in plain terms. Because that's the thing. HISSABETH's brain is a little funky, but I respect it and I get her. Because mine is too. Pointer says, we'll remember. She just said she wasn't going to feed the fish. And now she's like, nope, we're going to feed her fish. Oh, they love you. They love her. Oh, this is the HQ scene from, oh, we're in Australia, aren't we? Because this is from the Allure Games event. But it is HQ, so that makes sense. Is HQ for Laplace in Australia? Is that just like common knowledge now? Unsure. I think we're in Australia. Anyways, HISSABETH has never been troubled by packing. After all, she has 8 helpers. She says, leave that and that too. We're only going on vacation. Okay, so she is doing the same exact thing technically that Camille, I can't remember her, something green. Same exact thing that Camille is doing. To be fair, it is 10 o'clock as I'm recording this. So yeah, anyways. Snake number 8 says, oh, but I haven't finished that one yet. Oh, like books or something. I understand that. Yeah, it's books. I get that. I've traveled with books before. The last time I went up to Dallas, I went to like a local indie bookstore because I had to. Personally, that's in the Nintendo event vlog if anyone is curious. But last time I went on, I traveled home with I think 5 books, 3 of which were hardcovers. It's rough to travel with books, it really is, because I bought them there, so I had to travel with them. Usually I only, oh, and then my surgery, because I wasn't gonna be staying at my house, I talked about this, but my surgery, I was staying, for the most of the recovery time, I was staying at my parents' house just so they could like help me with the recovery and stuff. Because there was stuff obviously I had surgery. And me being me, I packed up a box with at least like 10 books, if not more in it. A lot of hardcovers. And it was so rough to travel with. But like, I think I read it, or at least started like at least 3 to 5 or something. So like, I needed the box of 10 books, but it sucked to travel with. Yeah, you have to lug them around. It sucked. When I brought everything back to my apartment, I had to make multiple trips up because I had like a suitcase and the box of books, and it was a whole thing. Anyways, HISSABETH says, I'm the one that needs to lug them around. 3 books max. But I mean, if they're poetry books, poetry books are like usually thinner and floppier. Snake number 8 says, Sylvie, 5, just 5, come on, please. I mean, 5 sounds reasonable. I traveled with 5 and it wasn't that bad, especially if they're paperback. That doesn't sound bad. Maybe limit the amount of hardcovers they're allowed. Oh, HISSABETH says, is it just me, or are you starting to sound exactly like Prismagreen? Prismagreen, put it to memory. Oh, Pointer's here. So this is not Australia HQ, this is just HQ. Russia HQ, yes. Because Pointer's still here. She asks, can I come in? And HISSABETH says, yeah, door's open for you anytime. I love them. You know, history would say they're friends. All right, moving on. Pointer says, thanks, I had noticed. I was hoping to talk about those shelved research plans, but I guess this isn't the best time. HISSABETH says, actually, I wanted to talk to you about that too. This place is a mess. Can you grab that folder for me? The gray one. I mean, it looks clean, but this is a reused asset, so it's fine. I don't have a problem with reused assets. I like pointing it out because I'm annoying, all right? Pointer says, aha, so this is going to be your next pursuit. HISSABETH says, given the context of aerospace applications, protective measures are obviously crucial. And Pointer says, a good angle, but as a research topic, it could use more refinement. Pointer's going in to like dissuade her from going because it's like not perfect or something. Pointer scans the document in her hand in a series of careful and precise eye movements, putting the conversation on hold. HISSABETH says, take your time. No need to rush to think up your constructive criticism. I'm sure you'll get it to me before I leave. She's being so cool and casual about leaving too, and I don't think she actually wants to leave. And I wonder when that will come up, because I feel like we don't, this is part like 6, I think, and I feel like we still don't know a ton about HISSABETH's character and like her motivations, but we know a lot about the other characters already. The word leave, though, triggers something deep in Pointer's circuitry. She says, I hadn't predicted that you would go. Just like that. Aren't you concerned about personality clashes? As I recall, Ms. Prismagreen said you had a serious argument the last time you announced your departure. Not really. I mean, it was kind of one-sided. Like, Prismagreen was pissed, but judging off the flashback, HISSABETH was fine. She says, oh, that. I wouldn't call it an argument. I simply didn't agree to her proposals. She has a habit of blowing things out of proportion, and the success of our research here proves I made the right choice. I don't know what she means by that. Like, do you mean like the lack of success, or because I'm pretty sure it's been successful. Oh, because I'm pretty sure the Cosmic Overture part, because this takes place after Cosmic Overture, right? That went successfully to how they expected it to go. But now they're done and they're like, okay, we move on. That's what we do. We never stay in one place for too long. But HISSABETH in her brain is like, I want to stay here. I like these people. So Pointer says, respectfully, I disagree. Of course, I can't deny our success here, but your decision was reckless. Luck and probability played a significant role in your success. That sounds about right. It is reverse 1999. At the end of the day, things do be pretty chaotic. Pointer says, I don't regret trying to talk you out of it, even if you got lucky. HISSABETH laughs and says, has there ever been a scientific endeavor that you didn't rely on a little luck and probability? All that I care about is that we succeeded. I don't think she, I think she actually has other feelings about this that she's hiding. And I think that's part of her character, that she is very, on the outside, cool, casual, chillin', but inside, screaming, or just, very confused. And hey, we've all been there, I would assume. Anyways, Pointer says that's the problem. That's entirely the problem, HISSABETH. I had hoped you'd given your decisions a more sober analysis during our wind down. Damn, okay, all right. Oh, wait, they're having a fight, or at least another one-sided fight. I feel like this is a little bit more two-sided, though, because HISSABETH does care about the people here. But a gentle voice slips in between the two, gradually rising. I feel like I know who this is. Yep, is Kibarina! The not quite closed door creaks open again. The girl peeking in looks as if she's about to step out on a tightrope, which is a likely the look for Kibarina. Anyways, I feel like everyone's just gonna come in here, be like, HISSABETH, please don't go. Please stay. Don't leave us. You can do a vacation here. We'll all do a vacation. Kibarina says the door wasn't shut. Do you need any help? This one was spoken, but HISSABETH and Pointer at the same time say, no, we're fine. Same wavelength. The synchronized nature of their reply seems to only highlight their tension. Still, their intruder doesn't pass. I personally love the visual novel style of Reverse 1999, but there's times in which I wished we had full animated type cutscenes. This is one of those times, just because it's not a goofy, it's this doesn't feel goofy, but I just want to see them bickering back and forth visually. I'm so serious right now. But I can imagine it so clearly because I was talking about my audiobook that I was listening to. I would love to physically read more, but I mostly rely on audiobooks just because I can listen to an audiobook while I do other work, and that's a big thing for me, is that I can listen to my books. Whatever anyone tells you, audiobooks are still reading. I will stand by that one, but I'm a very visual person when it comes to my books, whether it is me physically reading it or it's on audio. So I can very clearly imagine them bickering, and I would love to see it physically. I'm gonna be that's the only reason, when I play visual novel style games, the only reason. I'm I just want to see this physically. I want to see it animated. I want to see them fighting. But they're fighting because they care about each other. There's a distinction to be made there. HISSABETH is I made my decision. We're gonna stand by it. This is what I should do. And Pointer's stop. Nobody wants you to leave. We all love having you here. Stop. What do you actually want to do? So I'm just saying. Anyways. Their intruder doesn't press, though, that their intruder being Kibarina. She says, would you like me to close the door? And HISSABETH and Pointer say thank you at the same time. But this was a spoken one from HISSABETH, who said it in French. So now I know she's speaking French, because merci is French. That one I know. But the click of the lock begins a long silence. Calculations and meditations on both sides seem destined to break. I just want this. I want to animate. I can visualize it. I want everyone to visualize it. Pointer says, take a look at this when you have time. And it is a research plan proposal. HISSABETH did ask, what's this? And you probably could hear it because I was speaking over it, but she asks, what this? I do think it's funny that they have the lorem ipsum text right here. Listen, we've all been there. We've all been there. I've designed websites and things before. We've all been there. HISSABETH says, what an interesting concept. I'm glad you've been keeping busy too. HISSABETH flips through eagerly, sparks flying between her eyes and the pages. See, this is gonna be something that she's way more interested in, topically. And also it's with people she likes more, and it's just gonna be a whole thing. She says, just this line alone could keep us talking for 3 days straight. But I'm leaving tomorrow, but it's cool. We can always exchange letters. Yeah, no, she's trying. I feel like she's fighting with herself, but also I'm not sure because I don't know a ton about her yet. Does this make sense? I feel like she's not characterized a ton within this character story. So in terms of character stories we've played, this one, oh, that was just stage 5. Oh my God, I thought that was stage 6. Oh my God, that's why I was lingering, because I was oh, we're making great time. No, we're not. Okay, stage 6. Let's get in it. Yeah. Oh my God. I thought that was stage 6 already. Okay. What is this one? Waitlist wasteland. That is really hard to say. It's the W's. Anyways, what makes a perfect vacation? Entertainment depends on the person. A change of scenery? Not everyone craves that. Local delicacies? Oh yes, the more the better. All right. Question. Entertainment depends on the person. Yes, it does. Because my idea of entertainment is like wildly different from like my family's, for instance. Like they would love like they'd be like going to a rodeo or something like that. Not me. I would be like, hey, they got food. Because that's the thing. I almost went to a rodeo with my family because they had tickets. And I was like, they got food? They got good food? Can I put on a cute little themed outfit? Okay. I ended up not going because I think I had another event or something that weekend. But I thought about it just for the fact of cute outfit and good food. That was what was getting me to go. Not the actual rodeo part of it. I could care less. I do love a change of scenery though. I'm a traveler. What can I say? And local delicacies? Yes, the more the better. The more the merrier. Wait, are they still? Is she still in Russia? Because that would be so cute if she just decided to stay and work in this thing and they're just having like a little staycation. HISSABETH says, one more raspberry panna cotta, please. And a puff pastry chicken soup with pumpkin. It's nice. Oh, no. So she is having like her vacation with Prismagreen. She says, I'm ever so glad to see your appetites as strong as ever. And HISSABETH says, the feud at HQ blows the rest of the branches right out of the water. Okay, so she did end up going to HQ. I hate that. Please go back. What if she just goes to HQ for like a meal and then books it? I've done it. I have done it. There's some times where I've gone into work knowing full well I could just work from home for the sole reason that I know there's going to be food there. So I take the food and leave, actually. I've done it before. I've done it for like parties. I take the food and run. Anyways, Prismagreen says, too bad most researchers here know nothing about how to enjoy a good meal. You know, I've heard they're working on making a condensed nutrition pill. What a dreadful idea. That is dreadful, actually. It's like Soylent. Dreadful. Oh. I remember there was a very brief period of time where like health-wise, I started spiraling and it was like, am I just gonna have to consume Soylent or like something equivalent for the rest of my life? Horrid. That was like a breaking point. HISSABETH does say no in French and then says, I can see it being quite convenient. I just hope they remember to make it taste decent. I mean, I don't like taking pills though. As many as I take, I don't like taking them. Prismagreen says, well, you can count me right out. I'll stick to something real. I too will stick to something real. You think like, oh, I could do the nutrition pill, bet. Until it like comes up where it's like, that might actually have to be your only source of nutrition going forward. And then it's like, no, never mind. I don't want the nutrition pill. Like you take things for granted. Prismagreen, you are taking, no, it's Prismagreen is with it. HISSABETH, you are taking food for granted. Because I too will stick to something real. Thank you very much. HISSABETH says, I'm tempted to order another dessert. What do you think? I order another dessert. If I'm not paying, I'll order another one. Prismagreen says, none for me, but please enjoy your afternoon tea. This one's on me, remember? Yep, you take all that food. HISSABETH thanks her and says, what a fulfilling vacation. Great food and even better research. I feel amazing. Oh, okay. So she's gonna come back and be like, what, you thought I was gonna stay there? It was my vacation. Prismagreen says, so is that it then? You really only came here for a vacation. And HISSABETH says, is something wrong? Because that's exactly what Prismagreen did. Prismagreen says, it's just that never mind, I'll get used to it. That experimental design you pitched last night was brilliant. You really are the perfect fit. You're joining this vacation, no matter how long it lasts, will boost our productivity tenfold. But have you decided, for the sake of me or of anything, even just the puff pastry and the chefs here, won't you stay? Nope, it's her vacation. Because literally she's doing exactly what Prismagreen did. Her earnest, heartfelt invitation pulls HISSABETH's attention back from her dessert. She says, your project is fantastic, truly. You know I'm not one for flattery. Helping out with your work here has really given me what I needed to sort out my thoughts. The praise sets the stage. Her voice softens, and with it, Prismagreen's face falls. She says, you're about to say but, aren't you? Oh no, dear. My heart's already too cracked. How could Laplace ever handle it if I went through another heartbreak? Oh, there she goes being dramatic again. She covers her ears as a futile protest, knowing full well that she's never once managed to stop HISSABETH from doing anything that she's decided on. She made this decision before she even showed up. HISSABETH says, don't be childish, Camille. I know you're listening. I'm grateful for your invitation, and I truly believe in your project's future, but it's not aligned with the direction I want to pursue. Yeah, she wants to do space stuff. Prismagreen says, I don't accept that because I don't understand. So HISSABETH sighs and says, you always say that. This time, I don't intend to offer any opinions or suggestions. I'm letting you know my decision. You can decide for yourself whether or not you'll understand. Prisma Green says, I know, I shouldn't pry, but I have to. Why bother? So you launch a record or a spacecraft or even a person into space. What's the point of it all? The stars are just too far away. By the time our poor little eyes witness their birth, they may have already collapsed in on themselves or faded away into nothing. Isabeth says, this is why we always find ourselves disagreeing, Prisma Green. You can't help but inject all this drama and poetry into matters of science. I mean, yeah, these are points, like, what Prisma Green said about it, right? About, like, they're already collapsed into nothing. Because that's, like, a saying, right? Like, about stars, like, being light years away and they're already dead. And I feel like it's a saying that's reused more so in a nihilistic way, and that's how Prisma Green is using it here. Very nihilistic, to be like, so why study space? What's the point of it? All the stars are dead anyways. But Hisabeth is still like, because she talks about drama and poetry being injected into science, but even Hisabeth's outlook on it has a little bit of that poetic nature to it, because she still is like, there is like a poetic nature of space. It's terrifying, but there's also like a poetic nature about it with like stars and everything like that. So like, I mean, they both stopped mid-argument right as it was about to crescendo. Two old friends, locking eyes, gripped by the unmistakable feeling of deja vu. Oh, and there's a flashback to the rest of what happened with this fight. So maybe it was a two-sided argument. We only saw like the first half of it. Prisma Green cries and says, if something happened between us that made you want to leave, you could have just told me. Yeah, I feel like this is close to where it cuts off in the very beginning. Hisabeth says, I thought we were getting along swimmingly. I'm just more interested in this new project. Fusion of Arcanum in science. Aerospace frontier applications. Every part of it speaks to our goals as a researcher. R being the collective snakes. Prisma Green says it's a fringe project. It's doubtful you'll have any kind of team or secure any serious funding. Yeah, so that makes sense, because that's what we were saying before, that the space team doesn't have as much money behind it. And that, not Sylvie's team, Prisma Green's team has a lot more like clout in Laplace. She says, Dear Sylvie, you must understand. Laplace brushing it off is a sign in itself. Our serpentine ceramic paper is about to be published. Think of the real-world applications. With your talent, we could go so far down this path together. I know before, at the very beginning, Prisma Green has a line about being kind of like fed up that Hisabeth only sees Prisma Green for her arcane abilities and stuff like that. Isn't Prisma Green doing something very similar here by only really seeing Hisabeth for her research abilities? It's a little intriguing, but Hisabeth says, so what? So maybe we've got a knack for making ceramic materials, but we're more than that. It doesn't need to define us. I'm proud of what we've achieved here, but I want to pursue other goals, the things that really matter to me. I know it may seem hard to accept, but my talents and my passions don't perfectly align. When it comes down to it, we've chosen to pursue what is most important to us. This does kind of like back up that her brain is telling her to do one thing, but her heart is telling her another thing. My talents and passions don't perfectly align, because she's like, well, I'm talented and good at this, but she's not passionate about it. And that's the problem. If you're not passionate about something, then if you do have the option to make a choice about it, then like you should make that choice. Make the choice towards what you're more passionate about. Not everyone can make that choice. It's rough out here and all that jazz. But like, she's not passionate about what she's talented at. So she's gonna not do what she's passionate. It's better to be passionate about something than to be talented at it. Because even if you're good at something but hate it, what's the point, you know? Sometimes you have to do something, even if you're good at it, sometimes you have to do like a job. Sometimes you have to do it. Like I said, it's rough out here. But like, you gotta do the things you're passionate about too. And I don't think that, like, that's the disconnect. I don't think Prisma Green gets that, but Hisabeth does. But Prisma Green says, what you're chasing is a life devoted to a barren, weightless void. Again, with space, having a very nihilistic view of space. It may seem like the future, but there's no life in it. Nothing can survive up there. It's just idle curiosity and wasted effort. I just don't see how you can be so fixated on something that has no practical purpose. Hisabeth says, why is curiosity not enough? Evolution preserved this instinct in us so thoroughly and powerfully that it must hold some essential meaning. Ultimately, I don't care whether you think of it as the natural drive of evolution or something as hokey as a higher calling. No one survives forever, not in space and not on Earth. Prisma Green, but before our end arrives, we're going to live on our terms. Yeah, she definitely gets, it has to do with talent and passion and all that. Yep. Prisma Green says, from someone of your age, some might call that a childish act of rebellion. I think she's like in her 20s. I think she's like early 20s. I don't remember. Hisabeth particularly. Prisma Green, no idea. Oh, my encoder is overloading. Why is my encoder overloading? What happened? Weird. Okay, Hisabeth says, and from someone with your tone, some might call that a snide personal attack. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. So this is the fight that they were talking about earlier. Prisma Green says, I'm sorry, Sylvie. I didn't mean to attack you. Dear, the stars are just too far away. In ancient poems, I should be the one guiding you back into the fold. As your mentor, I have to insist. Your brilliance doesn't belong in devotion to dead starlight. That line actually kind of goes hard, I'm not gonna lie. Then Hisabeth says, if I know anything about literature, I have to insist on my part too. Rejecting the call. If you need some poetic reason, then imagine me as some dust-eating serpent yearning for the sky and, beyond it, something higher still. Where did Voyager 1 end up? Where did the Golden Record go? Listen, I know what Voyager is, I don't know what the Golden Record is. After Earth, where else can we go? Every one of those wheres matters to me. That weightless wasteland, she said the thing, and every star in it, they all matter to me. Ooh, this was a spoken line, but she does say, and I don't need anyone else's recognition. Ah, flashbang. Oh god, that hurt the eyeballs. Clearly, they both see in each other's eyes a shared memory. The fight, the smiles after that silence, carry more than nostalgia. There's a quiet recognition that neither of them has changed, but now at least they get it, like with the other. Like Prisma Green can understand where Hisabeth's coming from and vice versa, all that. Although I do think it was mostly on Prisma Green for not being very understanding in the first place. Hisabeth was just like doing her thing, but they get it now, and I think that they can like understand that. Time hasn't moved either side an inch, and with that understanding, further debate is pointless. But they get it now and they can still be friends. So Hisabeth says, you still think I shouldn't waste my brilliance on dead starlight? Prisma Green says, you never quite convinced me back then. If not for the idealistic glow in your eyes, I might have pushed harder. Hisabeth says, I had an idealistic glow? Really? Prisma Green says, don't fuss over glows. All I meant then, as I do now, is that you're always welcome here. I'll keep a desk open for you. It's kind of really cute, actually. Hisabeth says, I'm not gonna lie, when they told me the disc project was getting scrapped, we did take some comfort in knowing it was there. The snakes. Her and the snakes. The council. Prisma Green says, I truly never expected you to pull it off, let alone so spectacularly. So Hisabeth says, don't sugarcoat it. You still think it was a big waste of time. And Prisma Green says, call me a traditionalist. Still, I hoped that after the first taste of glory, you'd come back down to earth. I see what she's doing there. But Hisabeth says, too bad then. The universe is vast. The stars are beyond counting. I'll be up there looking at them for a long time coming. See, even she's very poetic about it. Like, she can be poetic about the space thing, and you can be poetic about the space stuff. Prisma Green says, see? That right there, that blinding glow you get. Very well. Looks like I'm destined to drown in another flood of resumes. In every version of the story, Melusine always repeats Priscina's fate. Maybe you've inherited more than just a talent for transmutation. This is a reference to a part in the very beginning of the character story. Last video, all that, yeah. The legendary Lusignan? I'm not looking the pronunciation up again. Was built in a single night, but Melusine was never the architect. Over the years, I did try following your advice, thinking from a Melusine centrism perspective. Yeah, because when she first arrives at Laplace and Prisma Green tells her favorite version of the Melusine myth, one of the snakes is like, isn't that a bit human-centric? And so, yeah. Snake number 8 says, please allow me to interpret. I very much want to hear your Melusine centrism literary critique. Cute. Prisma Green says, of course, dear Estelle. And you too, my dear cold-hearted little cornicon. That being another reference to the very beginning. Let me interpret the legend from Melusine's point of view. A miracle is kept by one's word. That's the true core of the story. I sincerely wish you the best of luck, my dearest Sylvie. Yeah, they may not necessarily see eye to eye in their wants and needs out of working at Laplace and the research they do, but they can respect each other's point of view going forward. And I think that's really cool. Hisabeth does thank Camille, though, and says, I hope the same for you. Though Prisma Green says, I'm afraid this means I won't be able to promise you an open desk any longer. With your help, this project is even more popular than ever. I've got applications piling up. Hisabeth laughs and says, I have to say, that was some world-class showing off. They can even bicker about it, too. Like, they get it now. So, this is supposed to be a minigame stage. So we have another family meeting of the council. As agreed, the family of snakes gathers once more to discuss their plans at the end of their vacation. So it has been about a month that she stayed in possibly Australia? We think it's Australia. Snake number 1 says, honestly, two being Hisabeth, she's snake number 2. They say, I've got nothing against chasing stars and the cutting edge of science, but does it have to be Russia? I don't remember how to say it. I know we went over this in the last one. I should know how to pronounce words in Russian better, considering I know some Russian, but I don't. And I'm not gonna try to. It's 10:30 at night. Still, snake number 8 says, I must admit I'm heartbroken over it. You know how much I cared for Camille, because they got to chat about literature together. But Pointer, yeah, Pointer was into poetry and stuff. Snake number 6 says, Pointer's new research proposal really convinced me. We should be able to secure a decent budget this time, right? I hope. HISSABETH says, I actually agree with you, Maxim. That is snake number 1. The unexpected opening line quiets the snakes for a moment. Snake number 3 hisses twice. That's the first time they've done that. Yeah. Snake number 1 says, you nearly startled 3 into speaking. My points are always solid, but what is it that you agree with? HISSABETH says, I would like to revise today's agenda. If there's no immediate launch planned, I propose we relocate the research project back to HQ. So, oh, the Russia project is going to be relocated to possibly Australia so that she can see her friend, but also work on what she's passionate about. Oh, you know what? That's not that bad of an idea now that I think about it. Also, did we do a mini game in that one? Oh, now we're doing the mini game. Okay. In this encounter, your opponent has a new argument technique that freezes thought modules in place. These modules can't fall or generally be interacted with. I don't necessarily think the mini game is incorporated that well into this event because it's telling me like all these things that feel very early game tutorial-esque. And this is the last mini game stage. So fortunately, you have a persuasion method that can counter this up your sleeve. We have fire, they have ice. Matching a frozen module will unfreeze it instead of eliminating it. Okay, so let's just hit what it wants me to hit. You have 150 HP. Interesting. What did they say about matching a frozen module? Because I'm about to do it. Oh, it just clears it. Okay, that's totally fine. We can do that. Oh, what? I don't even know what color that is. It looks blue. Oh, no, it's okay. They're all blue because they're icy, but this is the yellow one. Do that. That. I know that I can match from anywhere on the board, but my brain like only wants to do ones that are like right up against each other, and that is my downfall. I'm at 85. We need to do a heal for this one. I actually don't even think we need the ice. Like, I'm chilling. I'll save it for if we need it, but I don't think we need it. Let's do this one. Yeah. Look at that 9 combo. We're back up to 100 health, baby. All right, let's do this one. Eloquent. Look at that. Because there's that frozen one. I'm going to use it now. Use technique. Boom. Oof, that's a bad placement, isn't it? Do that one to kind of clear out that one. There we go. We got some board space now. That's awesome. That is sickening. Success. All right. I think they just wanted to put it in a minigame stage, and they didn't really incorporate, like, the minigame wasn't incorporated that well, but I do really like the minigame, and I do like the, like, character story, so it's, like, not a big deal. Anyways, we have stage 7, cognitive bias, which is interesting because earlier I was talking about there being, like, this dissonance between what she wants and what she thinks she should do. I was thinking of it in terms of, like, a cognitive dissonance, so the fact that that comes up now. But we're in the Laplace lobby, I'm not sure which lobby we're in, I will say that. I think it's the main lobby, the possibly Australia lobby. Though a bit regretful, Estelle, or snake number 8, is still pleased with her trip, particularly because she finally has time to discuss her favorite topic to her heart's content. She says, ever since humanity created literature, snakes have always been tied to curses. From the dust-eating serpent of Eden to the Epic of Gilgamesh, even the Melusine legend is like that. I mean, she has a point. Estelle has many points because she's right. I always say this, I love the concept, the idea of snakes. Personally, I think if I saw a snake in real life, like just out freely in the wild that wasn't be like contained, I'd probably flip. I've seen like contained snakes and been totally fine. Like if someone's holding a snake, I'm like, I'm not gonna touch it, but I'll get pretty close to it. However, free roaming snakes, not as much. Estelle says, sometimes this terribly anthropocentric view makes me so mad I want to give up literature altogether. But Frisbee Green says, you really must talk to Ulrich, my sweet little pumpkin. I remember he spent his vacation in your office recently. He's one of Laplace's most outspoken anti-anthropocentrism theorists. That makes sense because I believe Ulrich is Ulrich the ferrofluid? I think so. Snake 8, or we'll just say Estelle, says, really? Too bad I didn't get the chance to meet him. 2 was barely touching the ground those days. But more importantly, snake number 5 says, you were brewmating. I don't know what brewmating is, and I'm too afraid to ask. Snake number 1 says, not that it's any big loss. He didn't seem like the literary type. Snake 5 says, he might know a thing or two about fish tanks. His setup looked way better than little cornicons. So Ulrich is the ferrofluid, yes, okay. Just as the snakes begin to enjoy their chat, HISSABETH starts picking them up one by one, placing them back on her head. They were just free roaming. The free roaming snakes! She says, I will remember to write Ulrich about eco-tank material compositions. Maybe he has a recommended formula. And Prismagreen says, parting brings such sorrow, my dear Sylvie. Are you really leaving again? Yes and no? Question mark. I've prepared a gift for you. A few of your favorite snacks that I know you can never find up there. And this, she says. My grandmother's handwritten recipe book. May you always have a healthy appetite. That's really wholesome, actually. Hisabeth says, that's fantastic. Would you mind if I gave it to the canteen chef? You know I don't cook much myself. Prismagreen says, as you wish. My grandmother was a kind and generous woman. I'm sure she wouldn't mind. I also prepared a long poem as a farewell. Shall I recite it for you now? I hope not, dear God. Isabeth says, oh, well, I really don't have much time. Besides, Prismagreen says, of course, I know you're not a fan of lengthy texts. Don't worry, I prepared a condensed version just for you. Is it a haiku? Isabeth opens her mouth, but Prismagreen cuts her off with a theatrical gesture and clears her throat. Wasn't she the one who was like, me, theatrical? How dare she? Like a couple chapters ago. Anyways, Prismagreen recites, Dear Sylvie, I must once again bear you a tearful farewell. I know that for my kind, it is difficult to imagine life from the eyes of a Melusine. But as a friend, and I hope you'll allow me to say this, a mentor, I offer you all my respect and support. May your talent and vision shake Laplace once more. Aww. Is this French? Hisabeth says parfait. I think that's French for something. I thought it was a yogurt treat. Shows what I know. I appreciate you condensing it down. It's beautiful, Camille. Aww. Her overly cheerful tone breaks the slightly melancholic farewell mood and leaves Prismagreen's carefully built-up emotions crashing down. At least this goodbye isn't, like, angry. Prismagreen just says what? And Hisabeth says, oh, not the part about shaking Laplace. That's not important. We came up with a brilliant idea last night. You're going to love it. Oh, she's like, surprise, I'm not leaving. I'm bringing everyone here. Even if you don't, I'd still like all your respect and support. Those were your exact words just now. Oh. So is she going to be the one who has to okay it or something? Prismagreen says, yes, I did say that. For some reason, Prismagreen suddenly regrets her earlier declaration. But Hisabeth is full of enthusiasm. She's certain her friend will be a huge help. Or like she's going to put in a good word so they can get moved up here or something like that. So they are moving, I guess. New office, but it is still in Russia. While feeding the fish in the morning, Kiparina hears from Pointer that the tank's owner has officially ended her vacation and will soon resume her feeding duties. But the girl doesn't expect the path back to her friend to be completely blocked by moving boxes. Huh. So I like how Kiparina's just like, hey, what you got here, Hisabeth? She says, Miss Hisabeth, I just heard you've come back. Is everything going smoothly? Hisabeth says, certainment? That must be French for certainly or something. Okay. She says, smooth as can be. Two little snakes drag a heavy box across the floor. The snakes can do that? How strong are these snakes? And the kind-hearted girl steps in to offer her help. Oh, she says, I used to carry props around all the time when I was with the circus. Like I said, likely place for a tightrope. Anyways, Elizabeth says, thanks so much. Moving is a big operation. These samples and materials all need to be packed properly. If only we can move house using the teleport disc. Maybe one day you think we could spin that into a new funding pitch. Proposal. Pointer says, if I understand you correctly, then what you're talking about was in fact our original purpose. It seems her colleague is more than happy to snuff out Hisabeth's spark of hope from the moment she walks in. They're bickering again. Kiparina's like, ah. She says, so then you're heading back to Laplace HQ, Miss Hisabeth. And she says, that's one way to put it. Don't touch that, Maxim. That one needs special containment. She's yelling at Snake number 1. Yeah. Snake number 1 says, no need to shout. You'll startle the others. Pointer watches the busy scene unfolding in the room and calculates the obvious conclusion. They're like, oh, she's leaving. And then she's like, nope, we all are. Pointer says, looks like I'm not really needed here. In that case, I'll head back and get on with my own work. But Hisabeth says, oh, of course. I've got this all handled. She's like not even telling them. Oh my gosh. Kiparina can't help but join in the moving operation, handled or not. Because Pointer just got mad and walked away, whereas Kiparina's like, wait, what? She's like, I'm finding out what's going on here, actually. Kiparina says, wait to Pointer, and the girl catches up, still clutching a box she hadn't had time to put down. Pointer says, yes. And Kiparina says, aren't you going to do something? Like, maybe try to keep her here? Pointer says, you mean Hisabeth? Why would I? And Kiparina says, I just thought you two would keep working together. There's still so much unfinished work to do before the project reaches space again. Pointer says, there is. But Prismagreen's project is also excellent. Laplace doesn't give out top ratings lightly. Then Kibarina says, what do you plan to do? Like with the boxes before, Kibarina feels compelled to help, even if she isn't quite sure how. Pointer says, me? I intend to keep progressing our research and refining this proposal. Scanning the girl's expression, Pointer eventually comes to a more human understanding. She says, you don't have to worry about me. Aaliyah. I think Aaliyah is also a name for Kibarina. I'm not sure what it's... Anyways, she says, I was working on this project alone long before HISSABETH came. I predict that things will slow down without her assistance, but I'm certain we will still be able to correspond from time to time. I like how they're like jumping to conclusions and like she's not actually going, right? Everyone's just jumping to conclusions, right? Kibarina says, are you sure? And that was actually voiced, Pointer says, with intolerances, but the point is, Pointer brushes back her hair. The mechanical structure hums in precise motion, orderly, self-contained. She says no one can change her mind. If that's what she wants to do, she'll do it. But we're all jumping to conclusions, right? Okay, I think we have one more part after this, which we need to speed run because we've been at this for an hour already. All right, au revoir. I don't know how to say the next part. I'm gonna be French is not my strong suit. Stage 8. Let's finish this one. My throat hurts so bad. Au revoir, cher ami. It's something like that. Don't come for me for my French. It's bad. We've been over this. Pointer sits at her desk, going about her work as usual. HISSABETH knocks and says, hello. And Pointer says, come in. HISSABETH surveys the room, an unreadable flicker of dissatisfaction in her gaze, leaving Pointer a bit puzzled. Oh, because she's not packed. She's gonna be like, why aren't you packed? We're going to HQ. What the heck? She probably assumes everyone knows, but like she didn't tell anyone. Yep. HISSABETH says, you haven't started, have you? Pointer says, what? No one knows what she's talking about. HISSABETH says, fine. Once I finish things up on my end, we'll help you pack too. But for now, come take a look at this. The research proposal. Yep, that they get to go to the HQ so everyone can be friends. Pointer says, what? Again? You've made a lot of revisions. HISSABETH says, even though you never wrote back to discuss, I filled in the gaps, including the materials I showed you earlier. Pointer says, this low-temp materials testing angle, was this inspired by Prismagreen? This has the potential to dramatically improve our project's outcomes. Oh, because they're kind of like connecting it with Prismagreen's research, so that's probably the way she gets it involved, and so they can go back to HQ. HISSABETH says, looks good, right? The Laplace review panel thinks so too. Ooh. Pointer says, thank you, researcher HISSABETH. Don't worry, I'll make sure to list you as a corresponding author when we submit. Oh, because she thinks she's leaving. Or is she actually what's happening? Getting the proposal updated was a pleasant surprise. Pointer smiles contented, because she's there. I'm like, is HISSABETH actually just leaving and like, that's it? But no, she's having Pointer pack up too. I don't know what's happening. Pointer smiles contentedly as she imagines yet another well-received paper. Yet, somehow her colleague doesn't seem pleased. Oh, yeah, because she's like, what do you mean? I'm doing the research too. We're all doing the research. Even Kibarina, get in. HISSABETH says the corresponding author that was technically voiced. She also says why. Several small snakes peek out from her hair. Pointer has seen it before, a sign of great emotional disturbance. She thinks everyone knows, but nobody knows but her. Pointer says, well, it's going to be my project after all. Since you're about to transfer to Laplace HQ and join another team. HISSABETH says, another team? There is no other team. This is my project. Our project. The one I'm about to start working on. Her serpentine siblings flick their tongues, eager to join in before HISSABETH at least realizes the crucial piece of missing context. Nobody told the team they're moving. HISSABETH says, you don't know. I thought they already informed you. Pointer says, I haven't received any information at all, so go ahead, I guess. The siblings all seem to collectively relax, falling down limply as HISSABETH smiles. They're like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. HISSABETH says, after I completed our proposal, I submitted it to HQ as a brand new project. It passed the review. What is it that you think I'm packing? So Pointer just says, our proposal, question mark. And HISSABETH says, correct. You are listed as my co-applicant. Oh, so HISSABETH, because she has two friends in two different places and she doesn't want to leave them. So she's like, hey, I'm going to put Pointer out here so we can both leave. So, because yeah, I guess it would just be at HQ, it's Pointer and Kibarina, but Kibarina is going to go with Winsong. So like, Pointer's eyes shift as she takes in, piece by piece, the information that HISSABETH is relaying. She says, we even got a collaboration invite from Prismagreen's team. That was why she was like, hey, Summerborn, you said you'd support me. Secured additional funding for joint development. It all came in within our main budget. So Pointer says, you're packing because I requested an office at HQ from HISSABETH. We'll need to work there for a while to get the joint budget. They've got all the equipment there that we could ever need, but could never get all the way up here. So there it is. Pointer says you make an excellent argument. Aside from the part where I somehow knew none of this. Yeah, no one told miscommunication arc. It is a miscommunication trope, but it was short-lived, so I can deal with it. Also, because it was kind of funny. HISSABETH says, chill, Pointer. Knowing now is good enough. HISSABETH waves her off breezily. Pointer doesn't move, doesn't speak, doesn't blink. After 10 seconds of sustained eye contact, HISSABETH adjusts her tone.
Okay.
Again, something I can like visualize so clearly. I wish we had like a physical version of it, like a physically animated version, but it's fine. HISSABETH says, all right. I admit it was a little irresponsible. I just thought the HQ notice would reach you before I did. I mean, they are up in the middle of nowhere, so. Pointer says, I believe they likely assumed you already told me. You know, because it would be crazy not to. Kinda, yeah. But HISSABETH says, then there'd be no surprise. Maybe the paper notice is still on its way. Or worse, stuck in some admin's typewriter. They usually bonded over shared complaints over Laplace bureaucracy. Why can't I say that? It's a good topic to eliminate awkward atmospheres. So HISSABETH says, anyway, co-first author is my bottom line. So you're coming, right? I even applied for your budget, your stipend, your office, and your lab. If you say no now, Pointer says, well then, what else can I say? I'm in. Can't tell if she's like upset or not. I don't think she is. I think she's just totally fine with it. I think she's just happy she's not losing her friend, kind of like how Prismagreen did. It's all fine now. Everything's fine. No more discussion is needed. They shift immediately into planning the relocation. Smooth and efficient as always. Cute. Is that it now? Oh, no, we're back at the bar. So this is the restaurant. Their celebration dinner is smaller than intended, but no less high-spirited. We have a cute little ending then. It is 11 o'clock now, though. So name day's off on a mission, Winsong hasn't returned, Hanzheng left a note saying he's off doing side work, and Voyager's reassignment to the HQ team just got extended again. Glad you're still here, Aaliyah to Kipperina. It's a whole thing. Otherwise, it'd just be us two eating by ourselves. Snake number 5 says, that'd be us 9 and Pointer, wouldn't it? Kipperina says it's an honor. The girl lifts her glass of juice with great sincerity, because she's like 15 or something. She lifts her glass of juice with great sincerity and clinks glasses with each of them. She's 15! HISSABETH says we first met here too, didn't we? I think we even ordered the same dishes. Snake number 1 says that's what happens when so much has happened. Time feels fast and slow all at once. So Kipperina says this will be the last time we eat together here? Question mark. She glances around the still oddly familiar restaurant. Despite her tone, she knows it isn't a question. Pointer says if our research ever makes it to the flight launch phase, we'll be back. HISSABETH says the plot works with a lot of launch centers. Prismagreen really likes it here. She says the snowfields and auroras feel poetic. Yeah, I also feel that way. I think snow and auroras are pretty and stuff. Considering how closely our teams are collaborating, she might find an excuse to drag us back here. Because Kipperina's probably going to stay here until Winsong gets back and all that. Because Winsong has to come pick her up from school. Pointer says, I have no objections. So they're totally fine in wanting to come back here. HISSABETH says, same here. Oh, almost forgot. I should be offering Aaliyah some emotional support now. Let me think. The fact that she's like, oh yeah, I should be emotional support. She grows serious, making an exaggerated effort to engage the unused synapses of her shared mind as the snakes whisper their suggestions. Oh gosh. And Pointer is also, because she's like part robot, they just don't get it. They're like, what do we do? Pointer says emotional support. Is this part of some new research project? HISSABETH says, Prismagreen said I'm terrible at giving emotional support to my colleagues, but I like to think I'm doing a decent job. Right, Aaliyah? Kipperina just smiles as best she can. She hates to let others down, so she gives a stellar performance. And fellow people pleaser, if I do say so myself. She says, thank you, Miss HISSABETH. Really, I'm fine. I don't need any special comfort or encouragement. HISSABETH does say something in French, but she says, I need more success cases. You know what they say. Only samples over 30 are statistically significant. I have always struggled with that word, but she's right. It is over 30. That sounds about right, at least. I took stats in high school. I hated it, but I took it. I think I hated it so much, though, because I was talked into taking AP by a teacher. I didn't want to take AP. Why was I taking an AP math class? Who let me do that? I almost failed 8th grade math. Why did they let me take AP in high school? I don't know. Pointer doesn't know either. She says, I don't know what happened last time, and I don't want to. But I suggest you stop now. Maybe Prismagreen was right, but you don't need to improve this part. Just accept it as a personal trait. There's no need to torture Aaliyah over it. HISSABETH looks unconvinced, though. Yet, to heed off the inevitable argument, Pointer raises her glass, shifting the mood back to a well-timed toast. Cute! And pointers in the art this time. Look at them. Hold on, we gotta get the screenshot that I then put on my hard drive to use later on. My folders don't want to load. There we go. All right, hold on. Moment of truth time. Yep, screenshot took. I need a full view of it because my box is covering Pointer. Look at them. Look at them. Love them. Pointer says, let's raise a glass to celebrate our project approval and to our next reunion. Oh, wait, who said that one? Oh, no, Pointer said both. Okay. Because we have a voice line from Kiparina who says, to the end of the storm. And HISSABETH also voice says, and to the stars. Yep. That's so cute. That was so cute. And they do their little cheers. I love it. Also very smart, and again, with the asset reuse thing, how that's the same shot from the very beginning of Kiparina and HISSABETH, but they just edited it in Pointer, essentially. Like, they added another layer of Pointer. This is the thing. Okay, so what is this? I haven't been recording as long as we did for part 1 yet, so I don't know how to pronounce this, but whether it's job prospects, thesis topics, or fish tank upkeep, a meticulous little snake records every word without fail. And of course, it is more than happy to share the meeting minutes with you. The first official meeting took place when HISSABETH was just 4. The topic was, at what hour should we standardize our bedtime? Oh, baby HISSABETH. So this is why it's baby HISSABETH on the art, I think. With each round of meetings, the arguments grow more intense and it becomes harder to win over your opponent. You can equip persuasion techniques, tap, you will still have, okay, so we equip them. Well, there were some good ones. This lateral thinking was good. I think divergent thinking was good. I'll use verbal stagger, sure. So I just gotta take them out. Okay, hold on. My throat hurt, by the way. So that does technically count because I did the match. Oh, I took a hit that time. What do you mean I took a hit? All right, let's do that one. Oh, I keep forgetting I had to use technique in order to use it. Boop. Can I have my boxes? I got my boxes back. Hey, okay. Put you there. Ooh, that made like a whole like thing of matches. I wasn't even planning for that. Oh, bestie, we need heals. Nice one. Oh, are we back at 100? Meeting minutes number 2. We have reset the thing. Okay, why? Oh, we have the fog now. What are we doing? Convincing. Give me this. Use. Get rid of you. All right, what next? That one. Give me a little bit of a heal too. I'm gonna focus on some emotional reasoning to get some heals. That's good. Hit you. If I could just have like a bunch of this one, the boom one, I would take it. That works. Convincing. We're at 19, buddy. Pack it up. 7. There we go. Meeting minutes. I need a heal real bad. Why didn't I get full heal that time? The first time I got a full heal. I'm just going at this one. Hit that. You're at 22. Also, I am kind of doing this quietly because my throat hurt bad. I don't know how this one ends though. Like, what's the point? I need this. That was a good one. You know what's also gonna be a good one? Taking this one and putting it there. Do that. I know exactly what we're doing. This right here. Gimme, gimme, gimme. There we go. You go there, there. Oh, redo. I don't know what the point of this is. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. What are we doing? Free me! I never liked debate. Yeah, I say I never liked debate, but I'll like just have a normal conversation with somebody and they'll be like, stop being argumentative. Everything I say, you have something negative to say about it. And I'm like, I wasn't trying to be negative. I was just saying something. Oh my God, people are so weird. Anyways, what we're talking about? This one. I don't know how long I'm supposed to do this for, by the way. I do be needing heals though. Oof, we're in the trenches. Maybe I want to be in the trenches though. Maybe we need to end it. I don't know for how long I'm needing to do this for though. I have 16 health in a dream. This is not gonna go on for that much longer. I can tell you that right now. These snakes are coming for me. Give me that. I need more emotional reasoning, please. Oh, that's it. We're done. Observation terminated. I did it though. I did get the stuff. Participate 1 time. Okay, that's all we needed to do. Yeah, I don't necessarily love how they incorporated the minigame into this. Like I said, I feel like it was pretty clunky. And them just putting like another stage at the end with like no real purpose doesn't make sense either. But I thought this was cute. I thought it was fun. I like the minigame. I just don't think the parts are incorporated well together, which is unfortunate because the story was good and the minigame was good. But I feel like if it was done a little bit better, it would have been like superb. I'd give it like a B. All the parts are really good. They didn't put them together well enough. So that's okay. We had fun. It gets a B. I think this is the first time I've given one of these a rating, but like it feels like a B. you know? Anyways, that is going to be it for this video and for HISSABETH'S character story. Likely the next reverse 1999 video to go up after this one will either be some sort of patch related video depending on the timing, or it will be the second part of Gap Month. Or no, not the second part of Gap Month. Oh my god, I can't read. It will be the first part of Kibarina's character story. So yeah, cool. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope that everyone hatter is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!